Hey guys, it's Mary Kathleen Waters here. Just got a little doggy that has decided that they want to go outside. I'll be back. Okay. So I just thought I'd pop in and do my Sunday feels and see how everybody's going and what everyone's up to. It's been a wild and windy, crazy weekend here in Adelaide, South Australia. And where I live apparently is where the brunt of the storm was, but it was just spectacular. And like the energies and that was actually coming through was just incredible. I felt invigorated and enlightened, and I could feel Earth Mother vibrating and just recalibrating herself. Like, so as much as some people go, oh, it's raining and it's cold and it's this and it's that, like I just really felt such an amazing energy from Earth Mother, and it was just incredible. Now I've put oh, Nikki, hey, how you doing? I've just put a little thing here. Oh no, is that it? Yes, because for some reason, I'm not sure why, but there's a couple of links that have seemed to have broken, and some people are not having their name shown. So if you click on that and give us permission, there's one for myself on the Mary Kathleen Waters page, and there's also one for the My Time live. I'm not sure if my group page is accepting it. I'm really not quite sure, but start again. Hey Nikki, how are you? Sorry that I missed you yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, but it was quite a bit of fun actually. Like, it ended up being the Michelle and Mary show. It was quite hilarious. I was just talking about the weather that's happening here at the moment, and the reinvigoration and the nurturing of Earth Mother has been incredible. Like, I know that it's been a bit cold and blustery, but it's just been amazing. Okay, Nita's here. How you doing, sweetheart? And my beautiful Sue's here, and with a couple of angels as well, I think. And hi, Cara. How you doing? Okay, you've got a bit of energy around you, haven't you? Tracy, how you doing there, sweet? Oh, I like your app picture. That's really cute. Okay, so tonight, Cara, I will do a couple of reads. We usually have a conversation to start off with, and then on the Sunday Feels, and we will lead into doing some of a few quick readings and everything like that. We are a community-based group, and my name's Mary Kathleen Waters. You're very welcome to call me Mary. You don't have to give my full name all the time. It's just my logo. So you're very welcome to join me on my page, and I'm a holistic healer, so I do shamanic practices. I'm also a psychic medium, and do lots and lots, land clearings, house clearings, and with the energy clearings, that's on a number of different modalities, so it's not necessarily one form. As I said, I'm a shamanic healer, so the modalities are quite vast and varied. So from drum healing, crystal healing, I do psychic surgery. I also do regression meditations as well to heal. Sometimes it's immediate past, sometimes it can be past lives as well. And I've got one cheeky dog that has been coming in and out all night. So I might open up the door and leave the door open, and I do apologise if you can hear other people in the background, because obviously I'm at home. Won't be set. Hey, you cannot keep coming in and out. That's not fair. It's not fair on Mummy or Daddy because he has to get up too. Hey, you're going to come and say hello to everyone? All right. You have to go down that way a little bit, otherwise nobody can see you. Go by the bookshelf. No, you just want to sit next to Mum. Sorry about that. Okay. Got Skylar here. Oh, Rachel, how are you? What time is it in your end of the world? It's usually me that's up at 4 o'clock with you. And Nikki's saying, I'm well, thank you. I've loved this lockdown and very grateful for a warmer, safe home in this crazy weather. It has been nuts, hasn't it? And Cara has said it's nice to meet me. So thank you for that. That's really nice. Okay, I'll bring that up in a minute, Cara. I know that we were just talking about that. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I think as my life, I was born obviously to be serving Earth Mother and all humanity, and as well as all the animal, everybody, galactic beings, spiritual beings, etc. So it has been an amazing and intense life that I've had, and I wouldn't change it any other way for who I am and, you know, where I'm moving through to consistently, you know, growing. I always had a philosophy, even when I was younger, it was like, you know, the day that I start learning is the day that I actually kick the bucket, so to speak. We've got Vicky's here. Skylar's here. Kila Shy. How you doing, Keely? Oh, this is perfect timing. So you're on Saturday, I think, Rachel, and it's 7:30 Adelaide time, Sunday night. And g'day, Rosie. How you doing? Long time no see. Oh, Marianne's here as well. So we've got the whole tribe happening. That's fantastic. So what I was actually looking at tonight, and with the weather and everything that's going on, and I was just talking right at the beginning, guys, how, you know, Earth Mother has been calibrating, and, you know, with all the different changes and the energy shifts that have been going on. And like here in where I'm living, it was almost like a mini cyclone that we had, even though that we don't have cyclones down south of Australia. But it was like, you know, quite tumultuous, and like you could actually see, you know, the whirling and like the shift of energy that was coming up. And I overlook horse fields, and looking towards the beach, and to the left of me is a reservoir. And, you know, I've been permitted to, you know, be on to be birthed on Kaurna land, but also my house is on Kaurna land as well, and on a sacred space. So just feeling the energies and the shifts that have actually occurred has just been incredible. And, you know, it's very honourable at these times. So even though that it's a little bit tumultuous at the moment, so Rachel, I'm in lockdown at the moment, even though that I can go to work because I'm an essential service worker. You know, there's lots of changes that are happening for the better as well. So we've been doing a couple of check-ins during the week and making sure everybody, you know, is mentally healthy as much as physically as well. So it's been a big week. Okay. So Keely Shy is asked what kind of readings I do. Okay. That's a really interesting one. So Keely, one of the things that I actually do, being a psychic medium, there's a number of boundaries that I actually have. The first thing is that I do not tap into anybody's energy on a mortal level except for your own. So if there is someone, like, say, for example, you want to know if your partner or your boyfriend is cheating on you, or are they going to get, ask me to marry you, and all those sorts of things, I do not tap into anybody's energy without permission. So that's a big, boundary for myself. Okay, so they need to have actually ascended before I would actually communicate with them. One of the things as well is sometimes, we want to hear something, but is it actually going to be for the greater good? So Spirit actually will give me some guidance as to what to say. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be something that you may want to hear straight off, but it's going to be beneficial for you to actually achieve your outcome at the end of your journey or during your journey and your traveling time. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think, who can I ask to do? So I know it's a little bit sensitive at the moment, but just we've been working quite a bit together. Is like what I've said, is that something that's quite meaningful for you? Like, what we've done, Sue's mum has just ascended in the last week. But when leading up to the journey of ascension as well, Sue actually did ask a couple of questions. So what we did is, when Mum was able to be with Sue, we actually then did, I had the permission. So we were actually able to work with her. And it was to make Mum comfortable, and making sure that, she felt safe in herself, because obviously eventually we all do ascend. But as a community, we actually assisted people to, assisted Mum to be in a more peaceful place and a lot easier. And, the pains and things like that were more comfortable. I can't say lessened or anything like that, but being in a more comfortable space. And it was probably one of the most empowering sessions that we actually ever had, where the community as a whole, and we actually did a healing on Mum to assist her with all the ailments that she actually had. Yes, I will be doing a few readings tonight, Vicky. And Sue's just saying, yes, she has helped me. Ooh, what am I doing? Yes, it has helped so much. That's beautiful. Okay. And Nikki is saying, that's lovely. Thank you. Cara, your words are helping. Okay, that's good. Because sometimes I know that it is a little bit tough. Anita is asking a few questions. What I'm going to do... No. Yes, she wasn't feeling alone, maybe Sue's mum. Absolutely. And hey, how are you doing? And Rachel's saying, such important work, sending loads of love for the lady who lost her mum. Thank you so much, Rachel. Sue's just incredible, and she's been with me on this amazing journey since I started back in January. So I'm getting there slowly but surely. All right, let's get the ball rolling. One of the things is making sure that we actually look at ourselves and inside ourselves. So sometimes, as I was saying before, a reading may not necessarily be something that you originally intended. Okay, so I like channeling and spirit giving me the messages may tend to be not quite what you're wanting, but as I said, it will actually assist you towards being, your greater good. Okay. Now, let's have a look here. Cara, So Kara's asking, are there any messages from Grandpa? And he definitely has ascended upwards. Okay. He is one of, I've just got told he's like your guardian angel. Like, I know that he hasn't actually been given or gone through all the different teachings and the ascensions to be able to be at that level. But one of the things is that the way that he nurtures you and he protects you and he's always beside you, it just has that feeling and that sensation. Now, there's a couple of naughty fairies that are running around you as well. And I think sometimes you're wondering what's going on. Like, you know, you're feeling like that you're neither here or there, or you're a little bit scattered, and, you know, and you're not quite balanced or grounded. Obviously, grounding makes a massive difference, and we talk about that a lot. The other thing is that you need to give them boundaries, okay? So it's not necessarily like they're having a little bit of fun with you and they're enjoying you having, you know, like that unsettled feeling, but you need to sit down, just really calibrate yourself, ground yourself, and, you know, just start talking. And then once they actually start understanding the boundaries that you're going to place with them, like, you can still enjoy their company and they can still enjoy yours, but it's going to give you the opportunity for you to actually open up a little bit more so that you can get the messages from Grandpa. Okay, because at the moment the energy around you is quite scattered, and so that's one of the reasons why you're having that sensation of, you know, the overwhelmness and, you know, not feeling totally connected. But he's definitely there. As I said, like, you know, it's not very often I get told, you know, a guardian angel type of person. So he is really strong. He is nurturing. He is almost like the godfather of grandparents. Like, he is just such an incredible soul and being. And as you know, and I will let you know that he did ascend, and without pain. Okay, because I know that's one of the biggest fears that people actually have, is that when they ascend that they, you know, that they're in pain, and there was no pain. And he's always been at peace, but he, like, once they ascend, those sorts of ailments can actually, you know, be removed. So he's in a really good spot, and he's looking down and making sure that you're okay. And I think he actually does that for a few of you. Okay. Now I'm scrolling up and down because I'm just getting my bearings here. Okay. Okay, let's have a look here. So excited that Rachel's popped in. It's just like so random. So cool. All right. So Jasmine, is there any message from anyone in heaven, please and thank you? Okay. Who calls you Jazzy? That, like, it's one of those little nicknames that only a certain amount of people are actually permitted to actually call you. Sometimes people say it to you and it can be quite annoying and you get a little bit frustrated. But there's someone actually calling you Jazzy, and it's almost a little bit like hide and go seek, like they're running in and out. Is there something that's actually stopping you at the moment? What is the fear that you've actually got inside yourself, Jasmine? Like, because you do have you know, you have been born with a special gift, and it seems like that you're actually hindering it or hiding behind and not wanting to actually blossom on that. I'm getting the back of your neck, which is why I'm rubbing. There's someone that's so nurturing, like when you were sitting on the couch and they would actually just, you know, do that. Oh, I can't even get my hand. You know how, you know, someone actually just, you know, pats and rubs and, you know, that loving, just that loving soul, like, you know, well, you know, and there's no, you don't have to talk, like, you know, the communication was totally real. It was almost like that you could have a whole discussion without any verbal words. And just remember that you can actually have that now as well. All right. One of the things is that you decide who you want to be and do what you want to do, but make sure that you make your own informed decisions. Do not worry about what other people actually think about you, because that is really important. Okay. Your journey is going to be very long and you're going to be very proud. Okay. You will make some decisions and you need to honor those decisions and stand up by them. Do not worry about anybody else actually judging you. Okay. Okay. And Sharon, how are you doing? Would you like me to call you Sharon Marie, or how would you like me to address you? But okay. Sharon, it's really interesting that you've put that picture up with the face mask at the moment. It's feeling like that what you want to say is not being heard, and it's almost like that muffled sound. And so every sort of conversation that you're actually having is only getting partially entered through and, you know, partially being understood. Now, how can I describe this? All right, I just crossed my feet, which means it's really important for you, Sharon, that you need to start grounding yourself, okay? It is okay for you to have a conversation and for you to have an opinion. The stance that you're making can sometimes be on deaf ears, but the thing is that it's just a matter of who you actually want to target those sorts of conversations to. But as I said, it's so important to ground yourself, because as soon as we become ungrounded, all of a sudden it becomes grabbled and muffled, and people, you know, either the wrong people are hearing what you're saying, and then it's actually turning tenfold to actually almost being like a narcissistic, like they might actually say something nice, but then it will end up being an offhanded, nasty comment. So let's bring it back in. Let's bring you back into your own self, your own source, who you are. And then we can actually bring that back out. So there are a couple of grounding techniques and light exercises that I do have. You're very welcome if you wanted to pop your email address in, and we can get that all sorted for you and get that sent out via my messenger. And also we do have a private page on the Mary Kathleen Waters site, which is called I Stand For I Am. I stand for I am. I can't even get it out. And our spiritual journey. So there's a advanced heart meditation in there, which will actually help with cleansing as well. So it's actually purifying not just your own being, but it's also going down to heart and blood level. Okay, because if we can actually start recalibrating our DNA and bringing that back into alignment to the way that we actually need to be, things will be a lot easier and smoother. And even though that we get hiccups and, you know, slaps in the energy fields and all those sorts of things, and sometimes things can be a little bit negative, we can actually override that journey in a better space and handle the situation a lot easier. Okay. Okay. Now, my beautiful Sue. Okay. Oh, Sue. Not only is Mum okay, she loves you so much. Like, she's like, I'm crying for her. Like, she just, like, the tears that are in her eyes, and like, she is just so proud of, you know, she couldn't have asked for a better daughter. Haven't even got any tissues here. She's more than fine, darling. I think we actually talked the other day, and I said how you've been popping up those little paint, you know, where you draw, and everything that you popped up during the week, like, you know, that flowers and everything. It was what I saw when we talked about sitting around the kitchen table and having sandwiches and celebrating and remembering Mum for who she is. And it was just this massive acknowledgement for myself to know that, you know, what I do see and what Spirit offers me is truth. And there's been lots of laughter and lots of giggles in the household. Mum's actually been with you on that memory journey as well. And she wants to let you know that she is always going to be there with you. Okay. One of the things that I just had a quick chat with Mum about is making sure that when you ascend, like, you know, you can still, you don't have to stay on this plane. Because obviously she loves you so much, she just wants to be with you all the time. But the thing is that she can go to where she needs to be once she's got herself settled, and you will still have that communication. Like, that connection is never going to break. When one of the things with your guides, Sue, I'm just getting quite assertive now, which is really quite interesting. They're actually saying, how about you actually asking us for help? All right. They can't do anything unless you actually give them permission to do so. And yes, you've got an inner strength, but they said, you know, we're there to hold your hand and to be there to support you and be beside you as well. So yes, you do have a message from your guides. They want you to actually give them permission to actually work with you. All right. You don't have to do it alone. Okay. Now I'll just scroll down a little bit. Vicky, you're next. Just remind me that you're next, okay? What have I done? Is it Vicky? I'm getting myself all lost here. All right, I'm going to get myself lost if I pop out. As they come down and I bring up people's names, I think that's going to be the easiest way. Otherwise, things are going to be a little bit out of control. There's too many messages and I'm on my lonesome tonight. Oh, so I'm still emotional about that reading. God, I love your mum. Okay. Vicky, you're next. Do you mind if I just quickly go and grab a tissue? I'm still a bit emotional. Usually I have the tissues for my clients, not for Miss Mary. Okay. All right. Whew, ground yourself, Mary. Okay. Okay. I've got a grandmother figure who loved to cook, and it was almost like the soul of the whole family. Like, you know, I don't know if this is the right word, and I do apologize if it's not, but I get like a nonna, like, you know, type of a grandparent. And like, you know, that big meaty hefty laugh, and, you know, like always got the apron on, and, you know, the big bear hugs, and, you know, like just a whole massive lease of life. And one of the things is, Vicky, is that I'm not sure if like there's a small person on this mortal earth, and you're getting glimpses of the same personality type and the same traits of nurturing, etc. And it is like a mini me. All right, you're not imagining anything. Now, there's things that are actually moving through the house, and you're not quite sure how they've actually got to where they've come. It is a little bit of a game that they're playing through the house. It's not anything bad or untoward. It's just in their nature that they actually like to have a little bit of fun. There's something in the garage that they're wanting you to bring out. Like, just have a search through. It's going to be something a little bit ambiguous. But I'm doubting myself, but I just got something like a rolling pin or something quite different. But there's something in the garage. Have a look, bring it out, and actually, you know, use it as a piece of artwork, or, you know, just have it sitting around, and it's going to be a really beautiful memory for you. But, you know, making the heart of the home, you've been really wanting to do that. Keep it going. Keep making sure that you actually stand in your own truth, and that's really important as well. You don't have to fight for what you want on an emotional level. So be very aware that keeping your groundedness, I know I keep repeating myself on that, but be grounded. Do that beautiful light explosion exercise that I've actually got there, and you'll find that the people that you want or need or should have in your life will start appearing. One of the things as well is that those people that have like a negative connotation or doubt who you are as a person, or you know, sometimes it like that little, they don't say the right thing, or they don't agree with who you are, their attitudes will start changing towards you as well. It makes a massive difference. Okay. And Michelle's popped up here. She wasn't feeling alone. Maybe Sue's mum. You're absolutely right. Okay. Latika's here. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? Hey, Diane. I've not met you before. I think we might be Facebook friends now, but thank you very much for accepting my offer. And yeah, that was pretty powerful. Hey. Oh, Tony, I haven't seen you for a while. How are you going? How are you going with doing your little exercises that we talked about? I understand that you have a condition. but like if you can actually continue to practice to try and strengthen up those muscles around your lungs and see if you can actually do that, that slow breathing and really start bringing through, and you'll find that life will be a little bit easier. Just Tony, one of the things is that like on a psychic medium level, when you are working, are you actually clearing your space and making sure that your space is quite sacred? And that's pure before, during, and after. So one of the things that could be occurring and why you're having a few issues at the moment is because you're having people hang around, okay? And they're not for you. Like, it's the same sort of thing for myself. You know, I'm always like, I always clear my space. I then make sure that and holding my space, and that's a totally different exercise and a, you know, probably a 3-week conversation of what my role is as a shamanic healer, on what I actually have to do. But then at the end of it, I actually clear the space again and make sure everything has gone. So be really careful and really mindful of it. Don't slack off. All right. And it's not just doing a quick, you know, burning of sage or something like that. There's more to it. And so making sure that you do the right practices, and keeping you, your family, and anybody in the vicinity safe. I think that's really important. Oh, Sue, she just said thank you, everyone. Keely, that one's really personal. The only thing that I want to say in that sort of respect is making sure that you really respect, you know, your body and who you are, like, and, you know, with the nutrients and things like that. Making sure that with the vegetables, etc., that, you know, you're taking away or washing away any toxins. Like I use a particular company products for all my nutrients, all my cosmetic, you know, cleansers and toners and all of that sort of stuff, where it's all non-toxic, non-harmful ingredients. And one of the things that we actually have is what's called Organic Cleanse. So everything that I have, I actually put into a bowl. I put, like, I don't know, tablespoon, soup spoon worth into the bowl, and I put all my vegetables in there. I take away all the toxins, even if it's organic, I do it. Okay, because it takes away not just the top, you know, the peels and everything like that. It actually goes into the first layer, because that's where the majority of the poisons lie. And it actually will bring all of that gunk out, and then you're eating what's pure, making sure that, you know, things that if you eat meat, and I have no judgment on any situation whatsoever, as far as anybody is concerned, you do what you want to do and intake on what you want to do. But I buy for my family non-antibiotic, no hormone, and grass-fed cattle and lamb, and I also do free range chickens. So these little things, like, you know, my girlfriend is a farmer, and as much as, you know, some people actually think that that's really cruel to have have animals and everything like that, and that is, you know, their decision to do that. But the thing is what I love about my girlfriend is that she said, at least I can be there, and she is with every single animal to make sure that they are humanely and not stressed in the circumstances and, you know, the way that their particular journey goes. So that's the type of foods that I have. So in relation to will you fall pregnant anytime soon? I cannot. I'm not a doctor. Okay, I am a healer. I can give you some healings, etc., to try and assist to shift certain things. But as I said, that one's really personal, and I, by no stretch of the imagination, would ever say yes or no on that sort of things. I honestly think that, you know, there's going to be different circumstances, and it's just the way that you need to, you know, look at your life as to what you need to do. And so have a look at that. Kill the Coke. You know, like, just be mindful of those sorts of things. But also, you know, making sure that your aura is clean and that you have your chakras balanced. All right, I'm sitting like this, like an old lady at the moment. There is so much that you're trying to push through, and, you know, and it's like the whole worry, the you know, all of those sorts of things can make a big difference to whether, you know, what our journey gives us. Okay, I hope that, I know it sounds ambiguous, but it's one of those things where it's really tough for me to actually say something, because things change on a regular basis. And one of the things that I actually do as well is go into the Akashic Records, and you can rewrite Akashic Records. So there's different variables that are available to you, but nothing is written in stone, and we can actually change things. So it's just a matter of making sure that you do everything you can in yourself, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, okay, to give you the best chance that's possible. Latika, I just got yes. Like, it's like that, you know, hello, what's been going on? Like, there's been a little bit of darkness and sadness that's been happening. And moving forward, it's like, you know, you're wondering, where am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? There's something, when was the last time that you had a smoking or a clearing of the house and land? There's something there that's actually blocking, and that's one of the reasons why things are actually not going the way that you would like them to go. Okay. So I'm being told or asked if you can actually either have, like, you know that you're capable of doing it yourself, but even having someone come and do a house and land clearing, I think it's going to make a massive difference for you. Go back to the 2-week challenge and start reiterating some of those things. hopefully you received the email from me with the voice ones as well. Okay, so you don't have to sit there and read it all the time. You can listen to my divine voice. But I think, like, let's regroup, recalibrate, and then see what's actually happening, because sometimes we get really comfortable. I can't remember, no, I haven't seen you or spoken to you for a while, but I had the house painted, and it's been quite challenging for me because I thought I'd actually asked our traditional owners and custodians for permission to paint the house. And things started just going absolutely bonkers for me, Latika. It was just nuts. And then I realised that their interpretation was very different. Okay, so I changed dynamics and I changed things, and permitted people onto the land, and they weren't quite happy with the situation. So I had to sit down and have a chat, and ask permission again and explain things a little bit differently as well. And then I was very honoured with, like, we did a smoking. I did that with the ascended elders, and things have started to pull back together again. But it can be tough, like just shifting one thing, like moving some of my paintings around and some of the all the different things. And they didn't like it, and I didn't realize how much a shift of energy can be. And when we're on sacred land, it's just, you've got to be mindful. And it was such a massive lesson for myself. Okay. Okay, I'm trying not to cry, Diane. Seems to be the Neiman's family. Okay, I've got a really hard. I'm finding it really hard to breathe at the moment, and my heart is pounding quite heavily. Okay. Diane, he is so at peace. All right. He's not alone. He's actually there with a couple of people that have ascended as well. There's someone who was not necessarily blood, but had that father uncle type of relationship that was really strong. And I'm getting the sensation that it was almost like, how you have a mentor, like there's this mentorship that's actually happening. And I've not experienced this situation before, where someone's ascended and they've actually got a mentor with them as they're growing and shifting. And, it's almost like they're going through this book of his life and quite a few past lives, where they're actually now re-looking at, all the learnings and the teachings and, how they've done things and, the reasons behind it. There's big things to come for your son. He is going to be, I got a force to be reckoned with, but in a positive way. There was lots of learnings for him while he was here. And he does know how much you care, how much you love him. And he's just saying, don't worry about me, Mum. I'm good. I'm okay. Okay. Jody, I'm just going to close the door and I'm going to talk to you about something personal. Okay, I'm just going to get my feet right on the ground here. Okay. Jody's just asked a question. Will my daughter realise I'm not her enemy since I lost my husband and their dad? It's the only way I can explain her behaviour, and thanks. That is one of the hardest things being a parent can ever do. That having someone, and even though you unconditionally love them and you do absolutely everything, the reason why I closed the door, I was in the same situation as yourself. So this is not the Mary show. I'm not talking about myself at this moment. I'm just letting you know that I totally 190% appreciate everything that you've gone through. One of the things that has assisted me, and obviously as my journey has evolved over time, the way that I handle things and the way that I've actually, and the different lessons that I've learned, and as I've shifted up in my trainings, etc., I actually now 100% believe that the reason that I've actually got a better relationship with my daughter is because of doing the grounding exercise, my core star energy, and then I actually do an explosion of love light. Okay. Now, I'm thinking that we could all do this as the last hurrah, because I think it's really important for everybody to start getting back into the habit of being grounded and looking at different things. Now, what I'm going to ask everybody to do is sit up nice and straight with your shoulders back in the chair, making sure that you can actually feel yourself being up straight. If you're deciding to lie down, don't cross your legs, okay? And even take the pillow off from behind your head. If you're standing up, I would like you to have your feet approximately hip wide. But what I would like you to do is slightly bend your knees, okay? And be mindful how you're standing, okay? So some people, and I talk about this all the time, is that, are we backwards? Are we forwards? Like, where are we actually standing? Because those are sort like that is giving us an indication of how we're going in life. All right. So all of these little things make a big difference. But let's get this done. And then we can actually use this on a regular basis as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is ask you all to breathe in slowly in through your nose, right into your diaphragm, which is right to the lower part of your rib cage. And you'll do that slowly and hold. And you'll do this continuous cycle, okay, as I'm talking to you. I would like you to imagine the most purest white light coming from the universe, Great Spirit. That white light is a column. It is powerful. It is strong. It is thick. It is luxurious. And as that white light is streaming through from Great Spirit, it is entering into your crown chakra. And as your crown chakra is opening, the white light is unclogging and getting rid of any blockages through your crown. Imagine the white light opening up your third eye, front and back. Your throat chakra. Your heart chakra. Your solar plexus. Your sacral. Keep breathing. There's a few of you with a blocked sacral. Now with your base chakra, I would like you to hold that energy. Deeply breathe. And on this last breath, I'd like you to hold it. And what we're going to do is explode that all the way through to the core of Earth Mother. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Now what we're going to do is re-gift back to Great Spirit from the core of Earth Mother. I would like you to imagine a bubble. It's a bubble of love, of grounding, of pureness, of earth. And as you're inhaling, this love of earth is going to travel up through your feet, into your legs. Keep breathing. Your base chakra. It's okay, you can allow it to go through your base chakra. It's going to keep you grounded. Your sacral. Solar plexus. Your heart. Your throat. Your third eye. And take a deep breath, and we'll expel that all the way through to the universe, Great Spirit, from our crown. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is look at our core star energy, and our core star is right in the center between our belly button and our solar plexus. Now I'd like you to slowly breathe in and imagine the energy going into that core star energy. Now that core star doesn't sit on the outside of your skin. It actually is in the center of your being. Okay? So keep breathing. Keep imagining. Now at the count of 3, what I'd like you to do is hold that breath, and we're going to explode that energy in every single direction. It goes through your body, through your aura, and out into nether. The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, everybody, what I'd like you to also do, we're going to send pure intention of love. So please place your hand over your heart, and we're going to start building up the energy. So imagine the purest of white light mixed with the strength of Earth Mother, and just keep holding it. And what I would like you to do is have pure intention and love. So as we're breathing, you think of someone that you would like to send unconditional love to. Now, I do this to my daughter. I do this to my family. I do this to my friends, my work colleagues, people that may not necessarily warm to me. I do it for buildings. It can be for anything. Okay? So just keep breathing in with that pure intention. I am love. I am worthy. I am pure. I am whole. I send forth unconditional love. That's it. Keep breathing. Now what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to explode this white light out into every single direction. That's it. It's almost so full it's to capacity, but do 2 more breaths, and on that last breath I want you to hold it. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. I'd like you to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Wriggle your toes. Wriggle your fingers. Wriggle your nose. And when you're ready, slowly come back. Okay. How's everyone feeling? That was pretty powerful. Now, that is what I do on a daily basis. And I do that before I go to work, and I do that when I get home. And you can do it, and you can do snippets of it as well in between. Okay, so you can do just some of the basic grounding ritual as well. It's just really, really, really powerful, and it just assists you. Sue's saying thank you for that, Mary. It felt so good. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. And Sarah's feeling great, so that's good. And Michelle's beautiful, very relaxed, and thanks. Now, I've missed so many people, but I've been on now for over an hour. And I've missed so many. It's been an amazing night. You're all dropping off now, but it's been pretty massive. Nikita, hopefully we can catch up next Sunday. Pop in as early as possible so that I can make sure that, you are included. Shai's come in to say hello. Skylar, Sarah. Arami wants to know how to do a reading online. I can definitely do that for you. So there's a couple of ways that we can do it. Arami I do Zoom as well. So obviously one-on-one when there's no lockdowns. I can do it in my home. I can do Zoom. I can do an email reading. I do crystal readings. It's how you would feel the most comfortable for you. Okay, some people don't like to have their face shown, so I've even done telephone. So it is up to you. It's the way that you would like it to be for you. Okay, and I will always be there. In my page, you will see that I have an open mobile phone number. So just text me and we can book a time. My Calendly is playing a bit of havoc at the moment. Kathy, I'm sorry that it's so late down the bottom. Okay, she's talked about. I do have another page called Mary K. Waters. So go on there. Hopefully I've got a few PDFs or just message me and I'll be able to assist you on that one. Okay, it's called Organic Cleanse. Janaea, how you doing? Tony, thank you, hun, for your guidance in my breathing and clearing my space. It's a pleasure. I'm sorry that I've run out of time. There's so many of you here that I'd like to connect with. Michelle would like to chat about house, home and land clearing one day soon. Absolutely. Always here for you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, Kasaya. Let me know. Can you phonetically spell that for me so I know that I'm speaking to I'm pronouncing it properly? Hi, Shalom. Sorry, it's I know it's been a long one today, like 70 minutes in a second. So it's all okay. It's been big. Mayor's popped in. How are you, my gorgeous friend? Nikki is saying, I love your grounding ritual and spreading love and light to all. Thank you so much. And I can feel that pure intention in that one as well. And Janae is just sending love hearts. Nikki has just said, thank you. Another fabulous live. Thank you for your guidance, sharing your gifts and spending your valuable time with us. Sending much love and light always. It's an absolute pleasure. And as I said, this is a community and it's not anything without you all. So I will leave it here. I need to go and cook dinner now. As you do, turn into a mum. But keep well, keep safe. Please message me. As I said, I can do a number of different things. Just make a booking. With healings, they tend to be between around about the hour and a half. With psychic readings and mediumship, you can choose half an hour. Sometimes spirit actually pops in the old healing. So I now actually have, like, I do both. So that makes life a lot easier for everyone as well. As I said, I do land clearings as well as home clearings, and they're really important. So that's it from me. Thanks, Mayor. Good night, and thank you to you as well. You take care, everybody. And thank you so much for an incredible night. Bye for now.